Oh, y'all, I got some juice and I got some tea to tell y'all. Look, listen, so, but why am I unemployed, honey?
Found a love for me.
I ain't even gonna throw their name out there because I was about to, but I had to think twice, and I ain't gonna throw them under the bus. But I was working for the sheriff's office. I started out as a correctional officer, and then I went to dispatch. I was like so happy they took me, and y'all, if they ain't throw me under the bus, honey, I was so upset. But I won't, because I was trying to make dispatching something that was for me, and it wasn't for me. So I want to say I stayed in jail for about 3 months. They was plucking nerves. I was drinking every day. This was before I had the gastric sleeve. And so I want to say about September, first week of September, I was doing dispatching. I was doing 911 calls, but I wasn't the emergency 911. It's two sides to it. So I was doing that. I'm working 12-hour shifts. I'm burnt out, tired as a dog, honey. And then, you know, like I said, I went to go back to school at that particular time. So I'm like, how the heck I'm about to go back to school and sit over here and work 12-hour shifts? Y'all, they had me working 12-hour shifts. You was always on call. And before I went to dispatch and I had like a interview, I asked them specifically, the supervisor, I said, do we have to do one call? Because good Jesus, like I ain't, I'm not for it. She was like, oh no, we don't do that up here, honey. You know, all bougie, like fishy vagina and all that good nastiness. She disgusts me. Anyway, we ended up having to do on call. Honey, if they did not get me, ooh, I was so upset. Like, I'm over here working these crazy hours. The first week I'm over here working, I had to work from 4:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. because the quote time is 5:30 to 5:30, but you lie on your timesheet and say that you work 4:30 to 4:30. I mean, you lie on the timesheet and say that you work 5:30 to 5:30. So I live in Fort Polk. I was working in DeRitter. That means I had to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to get my ass to work. First week, I was working days and nights. I had first 2 days and then the second 2 was nights. Honey. So the nights, it wasn't as bad until later on. So I want to say when I started working nights, I was working, I think they had me 8 to 8. What did they have me? Did they have me working overnight? I think they could have probably had me working overnight. I can't remember, but I think the first 2, was that overnight? No, they had me working like mid shifts, so like I can get the second half of the day. It wasn't, was it 8 to 8? It wasn't 8 to 8 though. It was weird. It was more or less like sometime like mid shift, so I can get the night end of the calls in the mid shifts. So I was doing that. Eventually they put me on the schedule. I was working from 8 to 8, so I would go to work from 7 to 7 because I want to go home early. And I'm like, if everybody else comes to work 30 minutes early, but I'm about to come to work 30 minutes early too, so that I can get up out of here. Got a whole husband to come home and feed. Y'all, when I tell you I won't get not a doggone thing done, it was like my husband was in here like just living his best life by his dang on self, because I was always at work 7 to 7. My whole doggone day was gone. I didn't want to do nothing because I was working like a dog. The only good thing was I didn't really have to work on the weekends too much per se, unless somebody called out. But like them first few, I wasn't really working weekends. It was rare, and I was okay with that. And then let's see, September, October, they, for probation purposes, they go off of the time that you are in training, which I was still in training, to, they kind of, I think I had, it's days. It's a 3-month probation, but they calculate it in days. But they did my they did something in November to try to see like where I was at, like the end of November. And it's so much backstory to it. So in the beginning, they had me working like clockwork. I was gone at work, chilling, never home, ain't do nothing. October-ish, I had surgery. So I was out and I took 2 weeks because my body just needed it. I don't know, I just felt like crap and I just needed it. But I needed the 2 weeks. And so then they came and did my little probationary to see where I was at. And so they did that. I wasn't up to part, like I was saying, I was working like a dog. I was getting it in. It slacked up and I started working less. When I started working less, it was me back at square root one. I wasn't really grasping the concept. It's so much information and you get so little time to get it. I didn't know the area. I'm not from here. It was just, it was too much. And when I was working a whole lot, I was fine because all the officers were like, oh, you started out working good and then what happened? I was like, I stopped working. That's what happened. Like, what do you expect? You know, you're grasping the concept in the beginning because you're always there. I don't know what the hell happened to my schedule. I asked her about, you know, my hours and stuff like that. She's like, oh yeah, you're gonna get overtime in here. My checks went from over 1,200 to freaking 900, 700, 800 in the blink of an eye. And they had one lady, she was working there. She always fell asleep. It was like she didn't care about her job, but she was always fussing when they cut her hours. So when she would call out of work or just wouldn't show up to work, they tolerated all of that foolishness, y'all. And her falling asleep, 12-hour shift, she just, because she ain't want to, you know, eat healthy. She about big as a house, y'all. Like, this lady, like, she thick, y'all. She about thick as that supervisor that I didn't had. Yeah, that's the way I still feel. I'm still hot and heated just a little bit. And I really just got played at that sheriff's office, and I'm just, I'm still so highly disgusted, y'all. So long story short, because I got 9 minutes and 32 seconds left on this doggone camera before it fade out and die and croak. But I was taking her spot. I had to fill in for her. It pissed me off because I was already not home. By the time I am home, you know, I'm short-tempered, I'm evil-tempered because, you know, I'm tired. We're trained to get straight to the point and nothing else. What do you want? What is it? Okay, all right, bye. So, you know, I was taking that home, and how I ended up getting fired was because they ended up tacking on 3 more months, so they made it 6 months of training that I could have. And they was like, okay, so by March, I need you to be able to get it. You need to work a shift by yourself. And I was like, oh, all right, bye. So like this whole time, I'm thinking she gonna fire me. All right, y'all. So this is what happened. January 7th, I was running late to work. I told my supervisor, I'm running late, I'm coming, but I can't, I'm literally in the car on my way. So they're like, okay. Y'all, if they could just send out damn text messages and be like, look, you ain't got to come to work, that just would have saved me so much time and gas, y'all. Like, I lived in the hood. Okay, yeah, I live in the boondocks and got to travel all the way to freaking DeRitter. That's 20 miles plus to get to work. That I had to leave work. I had to leave the house an hour before we get out there. I know it doesn't make sense because I'm back home in Virginia. It's 30 minutes, well, 15 minutes to get from Norfolk to Virginia Beach and back and forth like that. But the distance, I don't know how to explain it. It's just different out here, and to travel 30 minutes from here, I did have to get there and leave the house an hour early. So I posted on my Facebook, and I was like, what I said, looking at job websites while at work. Websites, y'all. I put websites in there on purpose because I didn't want to say, oh, I'm looking at jobs while I'm at work. Okay, look, no. I'm a military spouse. I can do that. It was in my downtime. I ain't had no calls. We over here chilling, watching TV. We ain't doing nothing. So yeah, I'm chilling on Facebook. So what? So that post was so vague. Recently, I had befriended somebody, and she was a whole snoot. And it didn't really matter to me because technically I'd be like, bitch, I ain't gotta work. The fudge? Please. You know, but, you know, because I wanted to work, I went to work and I wanted something in my job field and got it. And I was thoroughly enjoying it. So the girl, I don't know what the hell she is. She took that post and she screenshotted it and she sent it to my supervisor. My supervisor printed it out. The next day I came to work, I saw it and she wrote me up for it. I was like, okay. She was like, don't be on Facebook at work. Well, it wasn't don't be at Facebook at work, but it was something of that nature. So I was like, yeah, okay. She's like, don't post about your job at work. And I never posted about my job. I strictly said looking at job websites while at work. I never posted where I worked at on Facebook. It's not up there. You ain't gonna find it. So that same day or a couple days later, I posted again. I said, all of y'all are a bunch of now go screenshot that. Still another vague post. I could be talking about anything, anybody. Ain't say nothing about the place, the establishment that I was working at, nothing. So I ended up getting fired. So before I went to work that morning that I was running late, the day that I got fired, January 7th, I said, God, because I already told you I feel like they were just looking for a reason to fire me. And as soon as I told the assistant supervisor that basically I want to go back to the jail and work because I don't feel like dispatch is working out, because y'all, it's so much more story, and if y'all want to hear it, y'all can like, comment, subscribe, let me know that y'all want to hear the rest of the story, because I have to leave out so many parts. But I told Jesus, I told Jesus, you know, if this job is for me, let me excel in it. If this job ain't for me, honey, Lord, take it away. I don't want it. Sure enough, came to work that morning, got fired. I was like, okay, I ain't even mad. And so the supervisor had the audacity to be like, I'd really appreciate it after this day that you no longer wear that shirt. I know that you purchased it, but because you no longer work here, don't wear that shirt. And I was like, okay, why would I wear it? Why would I walk around in this hot ass goddamn polo outside of this job? I don't like y'all like that, and y'all for damn sure ain't like me like that. So, but okay, yeah, okay, that's fine, all right. And I said just like that, okay. You know, like, they let me put my food in the fridge and everything, and it was just like, because I was just standing there. They was waiting for everybody to get out when she could have just said, yo, y'all get the fuck out, and we'd be done. But nah, I had to get up, I had to prepare breakfast, I had to take my lunch, like, I had to make pit stops before I even got to freaking work, just to sit over here and y'all just be like, yeah, we gotta let you go, and we told you why. They shipped me another, she printed out another photo and was like, oh, this is what you posted. But it was so vague. People told me I should have sued them, I need to file for unemployment, and yeah, they're all right, but you know, they're not worth my time nor my energy. And that was just, you know, a life lesson. And I did literally pray, and I was like, God, of all, I know I curse y'all, but I was like, really, of all prayers that you wanted to listen to and answer, it was this one, huh? So I was like, you know, God, just guide me to the career that I'm supposed to be in, because, you know, I'm getting too old to keep flip-flopping back through jobs. My friend, I love her so much. This is my sister, my best friend. I love her. But, you know, she be sending me all these different job posts and stuff like that. And I'm just like, and she's younger than me too. So I'm like, and I got a bachelor's degree already. I got the associate's degree. You know, I just have all of that stuff already. And it's just like, retail, fast food, sales consultant, I don't want it. Like, I don't want it. And especially since I already gained some experience and, you know, my background. So it's just, you know, it was rough, y'all. And that was definitely a life lesson, because these hoes ain't loyal and they is not your friends. And I understand that, and I knew it from the get-go. But, you know, this is just, it just was an eye-opener for me, and I'm okay with that. So, like I said, you know, I want to see my name in lights. I need my name on somebody's door, and I'm sick of walking into everybody else's office and they got their diplomas and plaques up on the wall. That's gonna be me. 10 more classes, I'm up in there. Y'all, thank you so much for listening. But for real, y'all, I know I covered a lot of basics. If y'all want to hear something else, you know, just comment down below what y'all want to hear. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, tell your friends, let your hoes know, let them all know. Deuces. Bye, y'all.